Hello everyone, well, yeah, it's Small Tummy Wonderful again, the one guy that will not ever be silenced. So here's an overview and a prequel to what you might see in my next Pedestal of Shame. I already did multiple people, which that was Jonathan McIntosh, and that dude with the sock puppet, forgot his name, guess it's not important, and Anita Sarkeesian. But this time, I'm gonna tell you a little more about how I feel about Anita Sarkeesian and her subpar video game reviews about how video game characters that are female get highly misrepresented, like being too over-sexualized or being too hot. So, but another thing that's important is Zoe Quinn. And about her stupid book and her stupid movie that will be coming out sometime in the future. And here's the thing. I can relate to Zoe Quinn having depression because I have that too, but I also have PTSD. But the thing is that I dislike anybody that plays the victim card and get money off of it. Oh, I can make money off of this by being a damsel in distress. Gotta clear my thought. But Anita Sarkeesian, which all of you know, is that she's played the victim card, made a lot of money on it, by making crappy YouTube videos on feminist frequency. Of course, people have all said that Zoe Quinn's ugly, or Brianna Wu, which Brianna Wu does make good games, and I like Giant Space Cat. I actually like the name of the studio she's part of. But besides Anita Sarkeesian and my thoughts about GamerGate, is that Anita Sarkeesian does subpar reviews. She moans, she complains, and whines, and just, with very little research done about any of her videos, is that Anita Sarkeesian is probably jealous about Princess Peach, Zelda, Samus, Bayonetta for being too hot, because they're probably better than her in real life, which, well, technically they're fictional video game characters, and she complains about, oh, they're over-sexualized, or, oh, they're damselized, and it's like, gee, you complain about girls in the 21st century that get victimized or essentially being damselized when you play that card on multiple occasions. But this isn't about Alpha Omega Sin or video response to Alpha Omega Sin's Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn go to the UN to promote censorship on the internet. That's not necessarily true, but I get Alpha Omega Sin's point, which I consider Alpha Omega Sin a friend of mine because, well, you already know, I'm otaku, and I like anime and video games and all that, but I do like my Americanized cartoons every now and then. But Zoe Quinn, if she would have gotten the idea that she will be starting a massive wildfire that will catch fire to everything, Zoe Quinn should have had not one, cheating on her boyfriend, second of all, sleeping around, and couch surfing ever since GamerGate blew up. Zoe Quinn is a freaking insane person, a very low-life person that cheated all the way to the top just to be famous. That's not good at all. Sure, the Depression Quest might have explained how she's dealt with her own depression, but if she stood up to those people that were sending mail to her home address, it was like, do what Anita Sarkeesian, report it to the FBI. Of course, Anita Sarkeesian should have not been the person that called two people out that are on mic. One that's Alpha Omega Sin, which the guy makes awesome videos. Of course, he's passionate about his video games and his anime. Then there's Mr. Rebzion, which Mr. Rebzion has no he did not partake in GamerGate, but I'm pretty sure he didn't like what most of the people at GamerGate were doing to girls or women. But Anita Sarkeesian gets called out not just by male fans or male haters of her because she is criticizing and ostracizing game developers on how they do their games. She should have not done that. And also the fact that Mr. Rebzion got tired of Anita Sarkeesian's lies. But all of you, my fans, know the truth. And GamerGate was just insane. Sure, they might have gone a little too far, but I don't like anybody... Well, I do give credit to Anita Sarkeesian for staying at her home, but when she goes to the store, she shouldn't have anything to fear because, well, for one, she's protected by the customer protection law, which they cannot give out the clientele's personal information or address at all. It's like, I agree that Alpha Omega Sin says about Depression Quest was a piece of crap game. It's like, even I try to hide in a little box, but I still go to school, trying to earn something, instead of trying to play the victim card. I'm no longer a victim, and nobody else should say that, oh, I'm still a victim because of GamerGate. I say, man up, and, well, get some stones and actually start fighting back. I mean, isn't fighting back the only optional and reasonable approach to, I'm not going to get pushed around online. And believe me, I don't consider myself a part of GamerGate. I am not a white knight or a person that seeks out justice. I am more in support of Anonymous, and yeah. And I'm against warmongering terrorist groups and people that are too weak. People that cannot stand up for themselves are too weak. It's like, I don't let people push me around for too long, but besides the fact that video game journalism is falling down, and it's part of the reason why I do not like Adam Sessler or Morgan Webb. Of course, the argument about them bashing Mega Man Legends fans, which I'm one, which you guys already know about that, which G4 was good in the beginning, but G4 was just crap when it was like, oh, we're gonna be anti-gaming. Well, you already know the stick about that. But I don't like how Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb are in their mid-30s, and yet they bash on Nintendo, and they're on the Nintendo hate wagon. It's like I have to deal with people in my age group during my high school years, oh, Nintendo and their GameCube is gay. And it's like, what was your first console? During the 90s, when Nintendo was doing great, it was an N64, or a Dreamcast, or a PlayStation, or whatever the heck it was. But my overall disdain and dislike for Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian, when everybody knows Anita Sarkeesian is just the puppet and the pawn to Jonathan McIntosh. And also the E3 stuff, it's like, wow, you're going to attack Fallout 4 and Doom 4? It's known for Doom for being ultra violent. Of course, Wolfenstein 3D wasn't all that bad during the PC days, but as time progressed, yeah, it got steadily more violent. Doom 3 was an overly violent game, and that'd be my girl again. But anyway, my point is that I don't respect people that play the victim card when they're against the victim card. People who play damsel in distress and make profit off it. Profit off it. There, said it. And the ones that generally get a movie and a memoir. It's like, wow, Zoe Quinn, You cheated all your way to the top. When you're not really on the top, you're still just a 2-bit hack that can't even do anything right because your game sucks. And due to the fact that you slept with all the guys just so that you can get more reviews on your game to make a little change. Which that's sleazy, and that technically makes you a whore. And I don't like people like that who are fake, who develop their games with heart and soul, but then sells their body for being pathetic. Anita Sarkeesian, Feminist Frequency on YouTube, is a piece of crap YouTube channel that by the time you're done with everything, it'll be like 2020 or 2021 or whatever the amazing atheist said. But yeah, I'm not a feminist, I'm more of an equalist with rational idealism. I'm not a communist, which I'm against socialism, and I am against capitalism because they're one and the same thing. Yes, referencing Metal Gear Solid on the PSP, the first one. But yes. It's like, Anita, are you jealous that Princess Peach is hotter than you? Are you jealous that all the other video game girls are specifically hotter than you? Oh, and that's right, Zoe Quinn, you're ugly. Of course. GamerGate's good, just like Review Tech USA says they're good. But if none of it happened, like, in 2014, and if Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb did not attack Mega Man Legends fans, basically, back in 2012, before G4 crashed, and the host of X-Play, it's like, my point is that I don't like people that are frauds or fakes on about making games, which GamerGate does have points. Journalism's dying in the video game world, but the thing is, when it comes to gaming, you gotta use your head. You gotta deem yourself worthy to be called a journalist. That way, no of the high-paying journalists get paid, because how would they know what was good gaming and what is bad gaming? It's like, do the research on Mega Man Legends from 1, The Misadventures of Tron Bonne, and Mega Man Legends 2. Good games. All really good reviews. There's just not very many people either heard of it or saw that it was worth their time. So, yeah. Never bash anyone that has a distinct video game preference. Brianna Wu was clever in Giant Space Cat, which that's an awesome studio name, using an Unreal Engine, and Brianna Wu does have good taste, like saying that, oh, Princess Peach is playable in Doki Doki Panic, which is technically Super Mario Bros. 2. Which, that's fine and dandy. It's just, can't believe her and her husband had to move out of the house because of all the threats. But she got what she was coming to her because she was picking a fight with GamerGate, and that's why everybody went a little crazy. But I'm not a misogynist, and keep that in mind. Everything that I say is practically true. It might be a video response to Alpha Omega Sin. It might be 2 video responses to Mr. Rep Xeon, which I consider those 2 my good friends because they're looking out for gamers. Of course, Mr. Rep Xeon talks more of the serious stuff. And, yeah, it's like, life sure has changed when it came to video games. But all I'm saying is that older people that are older than you should know what is basically what is a good game and what is a bad game. Which I don't like people to claim they are journalists because I don't like any of it. because they're full of crap. That's how I see it. But until next time, Small Tummy Wonderful signing out. Take care.